Hello, Scorpio, Scorpio Rising, and Scorpio Moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card horoscope for the week starting March 27th, 2017. And a quick reminder for you guys, remember your monthly astrology horoscopes for April are up on their own special playlist on the main channel page. You can check that out after this video. And if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. So what is going on with your session, with your week, astrologically? Well, the beginning of the week, we've got a new moon in Aries, in your 6th house of health, work, as well as your schedule. And this is a wonderful opportunity for a lot of you Scorpio people who have been trying to find time, energy, or even a venue to start working on some kind of health concern, whether it's getting back in shape, losing weight, or maybe even trying to take on some kind of new kind of therapy, some kind of new healing or health regimen, and it will actually start to pay off. It may not start off too quickly though, because again, Venus retrograde is still here for about another week. So we've got to make sure that, we're not looking for instant gratification, because that's the problem with Venus retrograde. Play it out, stick it out, give it a little bit, and you will notice some payoffs there. We've also got Mars in Taurus, in your 7th house of partnerships, forming a beautiful sextile to Neptune in your 5th house of love and romance. And this does spell for a very, very romantic week for a lot of you. In fact, there could be a huge development as far as a partner or a crush going out of their way to become more and prove themselves to you. Because when Neptune and Mars come together, there is this really loving backup kind of sense. Somebody going out of their way for you, championing your cause, but also at the same time sort of being your knight in shining armor. You may not feel right about letting your partner do this or volunteer for this. You may not feel like the relationship is ready to have somebody go that far for you, but maybe you should. Later on the week, we've got Jupiter in your earned income sector forming a tense square to Capricorn, to Pluto in Capricorn in your... it's Jupiter in your 12th house, your 12th house of your past, your secrets, and your hidden zone, forming a tense square to Capricorn in your 3rd house of communications. And there may actually be a need for you to clear up something that has to do with another person's past. Somebody may actually be sort of subscribing to a truth about somebody that you know to be untrue. And this may actually be very difficult for you to do, because this may actually be you sticking up for somebody that you don't necessarily care for very much, or care for very much anymore. But what's right is right. And I also think with Jupiter retrograde in the 12th house, you may be finding out that there are some things coming back to you, some things are being righted on your behalf. The issue with Pluto in the 3rd house is that an authority figure, somebody seen to be in a position of power, is not necessarily using it correctly. And they may be actually doing something manipulative, and while it might not be happening to you, because it's happening in areas of your chart where you're kind of, safe and protected behind a cloud, you need to be able to step forward as another credible authority and, just make sure he or she gets checked. So what's going on with your cards this week then? Well, for your spiritual advice, you have the card of She Who Laughs, this not laughing Winona Ryder-esque type of person. And when we look at the She Who Laughs card, it's going to be very important for you to learn how to lighten the mood and take the venom out of the cobra in a lot of situations this week. The She Who Laughs card can be seen as a card that talks about how to constructively trivialize, minimize, or just kind of, make sure that we don't have a situation where everyone is so tense and so stressed out all the time. Because with the She Who Laughs card, we're talking about having a sense of humor, we're talking about mirth, yes, but we're also talking about lightening stuff up. And you may be having to do that to help people constructively solve their own problems, or keep a situation that doesn't have to be a problem from ever becoming one. It's a difficult card when you think about it, because some people, if you don't match their emotional tone, if you're not freaking out and screaming and yelling like him or her, then you don't care, and you don't have empathy. But maybe you just got self-control, and maybe you know how to fix the situation, and you don't gotta go there. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we've got the Queen of Swords reversed. Scorpio, let that stinger out. It looks like you're going to have some time to let out some pent-up aggression. Because the Queen of Swords reversed is showing up as somebody trying to start a bit of a tiff this week, where they do not have a place to do so. And the Queen of Swords reversed can often indicate somebody who is sort of taking that chip on her shoulder or that bitterness and just letting it go. And you may feel like, again, it's not even happening to you. Jupiter's retrograde in your 12th house. You're kind of granted a lot of immunity in a lot of ways. But you may be doing this to stick up for another person against her. The same could go for those of you who are looking for a new job. You may have to stick up for a situation that you're being questioned on in your past. And again, with that She Who Laughs card, really minimalize and take that venom out of the cobra. This will help you to get that job, get that position, get the problem solved, or even get the money. But with the Queen of Swords reversed, we can't be afraid to clash every once in a while. Most likely in the air sign she could be an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra, but the thing is, she's already upside down with that Queen of Swords reversed, which means she won't be that hard to put down, if that's what needs to be happening. For your communications with air when it comes to your friends, your relatives, and the others in your life, we have the Star card upright. Beautiful news about a prospect you've been working on, or maybe something that you've been trying to get off the ground, coming through a friend or a relative who's found some kind of lead, some kind of win for you. Now, the Star card upright says we might not be able to kind of start this tomorrow or when the news comes, but with the Star card upright, it's sort of the light at the end of the tunnel being presented in this situation. This could be the ace in the hole being brought to you by this friend or this relative. And with the Star card upright, it is promising a brighter future. Whether it's the conclusion of a long-standing obstacle or conflict in your life, or a new beginning, take this person's energy seriously. I would say, however, because we do have all of this focus and all this retrograde energy kind of going on, this light at the end of the tunnel may not necessarily substantiate completely until we get into, say, the end of May. That's the impression I'm getting here. But this could be good news for you and your family as well. So, do not worry about it. Things are going to be looking up. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Three of Cups reversed. Okay, so, Scorpio, again, it looks like there could be some problems going on with some infighting amongst friends, social groups, things along those lines. People starting to bicker, people starting to have all kinds of issues there, maybe even on teams. And the Three of Cups reverse is, very much a situation where, again, people are simply trying to take out a lot of anger misplaced and misplacing it in other areas. And sometimes there's an issue that comes up with this becoming, I guess you could say, caused by excess, whether it's excess partying, excess time together, people feeling crowded, maybe alcohol is involved. But with the Three of Cups reversed, it's important to pay attention to where, with everyone doing this, there's no time for peace, and we need to be able to focus on peace first. Sometimes people fight because they don't want peace. They're not done until they get all of that venom, that puke, and that vile energy out of them. Then they're ready for peace. Unfortunately, that's not realistic, and we're not in 5th grade. So it's important to pay attention to where we need to be focusing on peace and then do the constructive venting later, because people can do that calmly and rationally too. So if you have to go in and play mediator with a lot of people this week, just keep that in mind. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we've got the Nine of Cups upright. So your love life is looking pretty damn good, Scorpio, which is a nice change from some of these other things, wouldn't you say? Because the Nine of Cups does indicate a wish getting granted in your love life. What are you trying to get done in your love life? What are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to maybe see if somebody will ask you out? Or maybe you're taking the initiative yourself and just getting the ball rolling. Well, the Nine of Cups upright says there sure is a chance. In fact, the Nine of Cups could indicate that even those of you who haven't met a crush or haven't met anyone yet could meet somebody who quite easily fits the bill because a wish is getting granted. And maybe a few of those tick boxes are getting ticked on that wish list for a partner and what you'd like to see in them. For those of you who are currently coupled, the Nine of Cups upright says your partner is going to be going out of their way to grant a wish for you this week, and it may actually be something you didn't think that they would actually, decide to get up off their butt and do in a million years. But it turns out that's exactly what they had a plan to do all along. They just were doing it on their own time. But hey, better late than never. So that is your horoscope, Scorpio. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.